First off, not all DNA is the same. The 60% figure refers to the genes that both humans and bananas have in common. Genes are the instructions that tell our cells how to function, grow, and reproduce. But just because we share some genes doesn't mean we share the same traits. For example, we might both have a gene for cellular processes, like how to make energy, ATP. But, while bananas use those instructions to grow fruit, humans use them to. That's because all life shares common ancestry. The closer the species, the more genes we share. For example, we share around 98% of our DNA with chimpanzees. Bananas, on the other hand, are more distantly related, but many of the fundamental processes of life are the same across species. DNA repair, cell division, and energy production are shared between almost all living organisms. The 60% number isn't the entire picture. That 60% represents the genes that we share, not necessarily the functionality of those genes. For instance, both humans and bananas have the gene that makes the protein responsible for making cell walls. But in humans, that gene doesn't make much of a difference. In bananas, it helps create those nice thick peels. Humans have around 20,000 to 25,000 genes, whereas bananas have roughly 30,000 genes. But just because they have more genes doesn't make them more complex, it's how those genes are used. Humans have a much higher level of genetic regulation, which is why we can do things like reason, think critically, and invent technology, while bananas, well, they do their thing, too. DNA is like a blueprint, but just because two buildings share some architectural components doesn't mean they look alike. The same goes for us and bananas. The 60% similarity doesn't mean humans have 60% of the same biological functions as a banana. The 40% difference accounts for things like our organs, systems, intelligence, and all the unique features that make humans,